Welcome back to another video. Today we shall be seeing who's going to finish in the top 4 in the next season of the Premier League. We might eat our words. Who knows what's going to happen? We got it very wrong last year.
Not very wrong.
Nah, well, as in not the top 4 we didn't get wrong, but we got all the teams around it wrong. Like, we still have to go back to West Ham. And them lot, that was poor guessing from us. We said they were going to get like 6 points from the first 10 games. And they were in the top 4 for half the season. Come on, we got it wrong.
You never really know how signings are going to work out, but realistically, innit? Like, people from, like, the Souček and, what's his name? Sufal. Both of them came from Slavia.
Oh, Kufal. Is it Sufal? Kufal,
I think it's Sufal. Both of them came from Slavia. You don't know how them players are really going to turn out, innit? So, yeah.
I get what you mean.
Their signing, their position was on a flip of a coin, really, to be honest. If them two don't work out, West Ham, they're nowhere near as
and Rice played sick as well, innit, last year. Bowen was sick as well last year.
Yeah, Bowen's been coming on leaps and bounds, Rice as well.
But I think, honestly, we take 2 teams out of the equation. Because Man City and Liverpool are in a league of their own. That's 1 and 2 in it done for me.
Yeah, we'll forget about that, yeah.
So we're picking who's finishing 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, basically.
Out of the teams that we think will be at that stage. Is there any team apart from Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United that you would like to mention? That you think is going to make the...
Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, United.
Because I've got written down Newcastle and
you could
all
throw
I've
West
got...
Ham in there again. I mean, obviously we didn't last time. We could throw West Ham in there again. With certain signings that they're making.
True, but I just don't think the squad is just not...
But that's what they're improving, isn't it? They haven't really sold many players. They've only kind of just slowly added and added.
I think they'll pick up points. I don't know if they'll pick up enough points to finish in the top 4. I've got Newcastle written down, and the only words I've got next to Newcastle are next year.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they need to build it. You can't just come in and
basically
win
they
the
haven't
season.
really
Even
done...
City struggled with that at the start.
Yeah, City haven't really done anything.
Project.
I mean, not City, sorry. Newcastle haven't really signed many players this year. In terms of what everyone thought that they were going to go and spend maybe like 150, 200 million in the first year or something. They haven't really done what people have expected. But I think that'll be based, we'll see in January again, that'll be based on how they've actually improved from last season. Eddie Howe's obviously supposedly did a better job taking over than Gerrard did at Villa immediately.
True.
Obviously,
True.
I mean, Villa have had some money as well. They brought in some good players. But yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams that you could say, yeah, they'll be up there. Like, for example, West Ham might be in there for a while. Villa might be in there for a while. Leicester, I don't think so. Wolves, maybe. But they're not going to end the season in the top 4, is what I mean, innit? Who's going to end the season? 38. When game 38 comes around, who's still going to be scrapping for it? It's going to be those 4 teams, I think. Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United. I don't think anyone else is going to be in the scrap for it. That's my opinion, innit?
Yeah. Well,
I would like to say that there would be, because I want more teams to challenge. And that means ultimately people are taking points from you and City. If people are taking points off you two, then we get closer. The gap closes. One of us might nick it.
it's true.
But who would you say is your 3rd and 4th spot then? Because we know 1st and 2nd, in my opinion anyway, or in both of our opinions.
I do like how Arsenal have gone about certain things. I mean, some people would say City, on one side of it is they've signed 2 City, not flops, I would not really fully call them flops, but 2 City backup players, realistically.
Yeah, definitely.
They've complained about not having a fullback and a striker for as long as Pep's been there, even though they've signed 50 million strikers every other window. But anyway, so obviously he wasn't happy with whatever Jesus was offering in that position. And Zinchenko was always kind of just in and out the team. I mean, he's nowhere near as good as Cancelo.
Oh, no way.
You know, he's not going to get...
Laporte played left back,
They've even shifted Cancelo from right back to left back because they love Kyle Walker.
He's an engine, isn't it? Well, you can't...
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, if they'd rather have a right-footed left back than Zinchenko.
That says something, innit? That he's either inconsistent or his heart's not there or something.
Well, Cancelo's still better than him at left back, even with the hindrance of having to cut inside constantly. But he does that anyway, so you kind of... The way City play anyway, it doesn't... I don't think it makes a difference what foot you're playing on what side, because they cut in, they go out. It doesn't really matter.
I just think City buys players that can play with both feet.
Literally,
that's
yeah.
just
they
the
buy
fact of
footballers,
it.
isn't it? And they
Buy
see
good footballers.
Let's see how many footballers we can actually work into a starting 11.
And unfortunately, when you look at the two people we've signed, Gabriel Jesus ain't got a left foot and Zinni ain't got a right foot. So they've let go of players that are not good.
So there's that side of it where they've let players go to Arsenal where it really didn't matter to them that much, and they've got good money from both of the deals. So, but then you can look at it from they've won how many Premier Leagues now that they've been in a team that knows how to win,
serial
that has serial winners, winning mentality. Every single week you're expected to go out and win. Nothing else is expected from Man City players other than to go out and win. And them being in that environment consistently for years, it changes your mindset and it changes what you believe about yourself, even what you expect from yourself. Literally,
you just win.
So hopefully they bring that kind of mentality and the winning nature to the dressing room. They're still young players, but Jesus is not young anymore. He's 25, 26.
He's getting there.
Do you know what I mean? He's getting to that half stage of his career, and this is like the turning point of his career. Really, he's been you could say a backup dancer to not really anyone, actually. Well, for Aguero for a bit, but not really anyone. The position has been there for the taking at City, but he's not really grabbed it with both hands.
No, it's true. And then if I was to ask you who you thought the better signing in terms of, obviously I'm not going to compare Zinchenko and Sterling, but if I'm going to compare Jesus and Sterling in comparison to Chelsea getting a better buy or Arsenal getting a better buy, who do you think has done better in that regard of taking a player from City?
I would ask you that question actually, because to be honest, I don't really know actually. I'm not really.
How old Sterling now?
27 maybe.
So he's 2 years older than Jesus.
Not much older, but yeah, probably like 2 years.
In my personal opinion, I would say that the better signing is Sterling. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I would rather Jesus because I wouldn't want to lose Saka, Martinelli, or Smith Rowe from that team. Whereas Chelsea just do that, innit? They just buy people.
You don't think that you could play Sterling as a false nine or Martinelli as your main striker?
3 years ago, yeah, not now. That's why I rather Jesus. Raheem Sterling's not going to give the effort that he's been giving City for the last 6 years. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not going to give that to Chelsea or us. He's going to pick up the ball, cut inside, try and shoot now and again. He's not going to be running that line like he's been for Liverpool and City. He's not going to do that anymore. His legs are going to be gone in next year.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, as in like his legs in terms of him wanting to run. He wouldn't want to run. He's made his money in that.
Half of these players, if you're talking about that, then half of these players, their legs are gone anyway.
That's what I'm saying, innit? And I think personally, Jesus for Arsenal does a bit more for Arsenal's squad than Sterling does for Chelsea.
I think maybe he's still got more to prove.
Yes.
Than someone like Sterling.
Sterling. For me, Sterling's world class. Any City fan that doesn't call Sterling world class is racist or stupid. That's my opinion, innit?
No,
being honest.
I disagree. Because I still think you have to.
Nah, he's world class.
I don't know.
Or maybe in the system he's world class.
In terms of world class, yeah. Like nowadays. Like for me even, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this anyway, but...
No, say it. I know what you're going to say.
I don't really care in it, but
some
people say that Salah is world class. And Salah is the best player in the world. I've never had that opinion.
It's not. His touch is horrible.
Never had that opinion.
His first touch is horrendous.
I don't know what it is. Obviously, it is bias as well a lot of the time, and it's the goals that he scores. But if you don't just watch highlights and you don't just see the scores at the end of the game and who scored and who got assists, and you actually watch the whole game, you'll see that Salah's overall game is, for me, consistently fairly poor. His overall game. Don't take that out of context. His overall game is fairly poor. His first touch, his passes off to teammates.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Stuff like that. Defending and whatever else in it. But, people always just go back to, he's there to score goals, he's there to get assists, and he does that. So, whatever, cool, fair enough. But for me, he's not world class. He's never been the best player in the world. He never will be the best player in the world.
So by that definition, Sterling cannot be world class.
No, I've never thought
Salah's better than Sterling.
Honestly, I thought Sterling is top class. But people get this very
top class and world class.
Yeah. I agree. The line's very mudded nowadays. I feel like
do you know what it is?
Because the overall quality has dropped for me.
For football players in general.
Talk about world class players. How many world class players are there in football, realistically?
Right now, in this moment in time,
off the top of your head.
like 3, 4.
Who are they then?
Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe. That's it, really, isn't it? 3 then.
So you could say, I would put Benzema in that.
Benzema, he's a big moment player. But is he world class or is he a big moment player? Because does he do it every week in Spain? And the Spanish league's a bit poor. He does as well.
Does, yeah.
But then I could. From a Spanish league.
But no, but
2 teams in it.
We're not okay. We'll talk about if buts and maybes, but he does do it though.
Well, if he does, then yeah, fair enough. So Benzema, you could add in it. Lewandowski, I'd add just because you said
yes, and I'm talking about like people's, and not just because he scores goals, not just because he's banging 30 goals in a pretty poor league.
But it's got good work rate.
Exactly. And he's not selfish. He wants to bring other players into the game. Salah wants the rewards. Like I've always said, you'll get applauded just as much if you if you make the assist.
Yeah.
Because it's a team game. Everyone wants to win. And the amount of times at the end there, probably which is why Mane is left, because he's seen that Liverpool much prefer Salah to Mane. I feel like he's noticed that the hierarchy, the club as a whole,
they like Salah.
The fans maybe even prefer Salah way more than they do Mane. Even though when you look at it in big moments, big games, like everyone says, Mane's been the bigger person for Liverpool consistently.
It's true.
Salah's only scored penalties in finals.
It's true.
Only.
So maybe then, maybe in my own understanding of a world-class player, because Pep's system works so well, and Sterling does get so many goals and assists.
He's in a world-class team.
Yeah, do you get it?
Sure.
So it's a fine line, isn't it?
Of world beaters as well.
Yeah, it's a fine line, and I think that, like me personally, I don't know how many things you have to do to be world class, isn't it?
That's the thing, yeah.
That's what do you? It's just your own opinion, isn't it?
He's arguably nearly won everything. Not one Champions League,
chance.
Arguably nearly won everything. I don't know. Everyone's opinion is different, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I would agree that he's top class. I would come down the pace.
He's right up there, no doubt about it.
Not world class.
He's right up there, no doubt about it. But he doesn't get into that upper echelon of player for me.
No, I can't compare him to Mbappe. Mbappe's been doing these things from 19 and
I'm not the biggest Ronaldo fan, but you look at Ronaldo's whole career.
Ronaldo's a joke. Absolutely. If he would have came to Arsenal, I'd have loved it. Joke.
Yeah.
But then looking then at like the other teams in terms of, because we've left them a bit because we probably just don't like them. But Tottenham and United, who would you say is like? Yeah, I know you think that Tottenham are going to do well.
Yeah, I think. Well, if they actually, if Conte decides that I'm going to stay here for at least another year and a bit, because Conte is one of the managers that stays somewhere for 2 years, 18 months to 3 years, and just tries to turn things around a bit. Maybe wins a trophy and then just does it again. He's not someone that is going to stay with your club for 5, 6, 7 years. And try and turn around and make this whole big project. No, he's kind of the person that you bring in to do a quick job.
And someone comes in
and then you got to put them into a certain position, a good position, and the other person can take it on from there type thing. He's never been that guy to build a project and like
Klopp or Pep.
Yeah. So, but this is the thing, he does do that. He does get immediate success normally. He is normally very good at turning clubs around, getting them playing a certain way, and then that kind of...
Did they win a cup last year?
No, they didn't. No. But for them, 100%, they would have thought their cup win is getting top 4.
Yeah. They've had a way better season than they've ever had before.
Then you have to accept that as well, because from where probably even both of your teams were at the time, United had it.
Wrapped up. Yeah. And they just bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. Yeah.
And Chelsea didn't even bottle third, so
true.
It was a bit of a mad.
Yeah, we were close at that. If we would have done well at Newcastle and a few other games, if we would have beat City at home, we would have been in that top 4. That was a turning point for me when we lost to City. But that was last year.
No, yeah. So for me, Tottenham, if they can, the signings they've made.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Richarlison, but I think he improves the options that they have.
It doesn't make it worse.
Doesn't make it
that much better.
But 60 million.
But looking at was Basuma from Brighton.
Yes,
moving to Tottenham. That's a great
fan.
I wanted him in it.
I think probably nearly every football fan probably did. I think.
And he's like 26, 27.
He's still young.
Not that, and for that position, you can knock on into your 30s, 31, 32, and still be good. Lenglet, we said, from Barcelona.
He's on loan. I've only seen him a few times, to be honest, and he seems a bit of a head case, but that's kind of a Spanish.
Tottenham love that though, innit? Tottenham play like
Romero is
exactly
head case as well. Yeah,
and
he's good as well. I like Romero actually.
They got Kovacic.
No, that's Chelsea, innit?
Oh, is that not Kovacic?
Kulusevski.
Not Kovacic. I'm thinking of Perisic. I'm thinking of the Sitches.
Yeah.
Perisic has gone down a free, and they got the geezer. What's his name again? Is it Jed?
Jed Spence.
Jed Spence.
Yes.
Like 18, 17 mil.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's that good in it, but if they're paying 17 mil for someone like that in a championship,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Well,
must be
he was playing that Forest team last year, innit? That won an FA Cup run, and he was
Beat
like
us.
a big part of that. Yeah, he was like a big part of that FA Cup run.
is right back or left back?
Right back.
So he would slot in to replace Ben Davis or
what's he? Emerson Royale.
Emerson Royale. Yeah, he's dodgy.
I mean,
dodgy. And who did they have before Serge? Aurier. Dodgiest geezer. The guy was guaranteed to give you a penalty.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Mourinho hated him. Hated him.
It was good fun watching Mourinho. That was good players, to be fair.
That was hilarious. But so then, before we go on to actually say like third and fourth, who do you think's had the best transfer window?
That's a good question. So we're not including City and Liverpool in this conversation.
Nah. Well, you can if you want to, innit? If you think City or Liverpool have had a good transfer window, innit?
But we're going for the top four, innit?
They are in the top four, innit?
No, but we've already said that 1 and 2's kind of.
Do you think City or Liverpool have had a better transfer market in terms of the other four teams?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what. We have to wait and see. Ultimately, innit? We don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
based on the names, isn't it? Based on the names.
Yeah, based on your opinion, innit?
Well, we don't know what Chelsea are actually going to finish off doing, to be honest, because anyone else is after Chelsea are just after them now automatically. So
we may have to do an updated top four when we get to the last day of the transfer market.
Because I'm not sure which. Well, it looks like Chelsea are going to try and nick De Jong from Man United now.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening either, to be honest. But I think De Jong's going to stay there and try and get his money back from Barca, to be honest. But if someone's willing to pay what he's owed up front, because that's what there was some talk that United were going to do that. They were going to pay what Barca owed him up front. Then it's like it's a win-win.
Just do it, yeah.
It's a win-win for everyone, really, not for United, but for the player and Barcelona. But
okay, let me break it down for you so it's a bit easier.
I don't really. I don't know. I can't really.
I'll give you my opinion, I'll break it down to two sides. So my personal opinion is that Arsenal have had the best season for people leaving. Because we've got rid of Guendouzi, we've got rid of Tavares, and we got rid of Lacazette. The only reason I don't like Guendouzi is because he makes stuff clash.
Yeah.
In the dressing room, there was always a problem. And and then I think, in my personal opinion, Tottenham have had the best people coming in.
You could
Perisic, Lenglet,
Basima,
Jet, for me, they've had the best transfer market in terms of players coming in. They've obviously lost Bergwijn. I thought he was very good, but he just couldn't play in their system. Because you see it on his debut, scored a decent goal against City, like out of nowhere, good volley.
He's just hit him.
Good finisher.
He's one of them players, though, isn't he? He's a luxury player, and you can't expect a luxury player to get 10s every game. They just don't.
No.
If they did, they would be Messi, Ronaldo, or whoever else, isn't it?
Well, exactly. And then I think Man United have probably had the worst out of all four because they've lost Poggi, Lingard, Pereira's gone to Fulham, which I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Then they've got Matic has gone, Cavani and Mata.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they've replaced.
You could argue that is deadwood as well, though. You could definitely argue that was deadwood. Like he's got Pogba on 300, whatever he was on, never really hit the heights at United. Lingard was they was calling him a hot prospect when he was 28. You know, it doesn't matter. He's
like Theo Walcott.
Pogba, they still probably call a hot prospect. He's 29. You know, the amount of time that they give these players to make something of themselves and make it right. Which, to be fair, someone like Lingard, when United weren't as good and they had like Van Gaal,
he was decent.
They were better than they are nowadays, as in league position wise and in other ways in winning trophies, because they were winning FA Cups and stuff like that. And Lingard was a Wembley specialist. He loved scoring at Wembley.
They got to Europa League
final. Big goals. Yeah, they won that as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they won a Carling Cup with Mourinho. So they've been more successful in the past with them
normal players.
Yeah, which I don't really get, to be honest.
I think United's a weird one because even if you go back to the way they signed Sanchez from us, 500 grand a week, and he sat on the bench and did nothing. At Arsenal, he was on 180, 220, and he played out of his skin. Geezer was unbelievable. You couldn't play against him. And then when you get the money, I feel like United need to do something whereby we pay you your wage, and then when you score or when you assist, you get these bonuses. Because when they offer,
it should be performance related. It should be performance related.
It should be.
Because
it should be.
Ultimately, people always say, whether it's Liverpool, United, Chelsea, whatever team it is, you should be proud to play for that team.
Yeah.
Basically. And it's an honour to play for that team. So you shouldn't need the sway of, oh, we're going to pay you 50 grand more than Chelsea if you come and play for United.
Exactly.
You shouldn't even need that.
No.
You should say, you know what, it's United. I'll take 250. Don't worry about what Chelsea are offering me or anyone else.
That's what
it's
I mean.
United.
If you want to play for that club, you go there.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter about the money, but that's just football. Like Sancho went to United for money, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think he's a London boy.
Yeah, he could have come to us.
I think he's a Chelsea fan actually.
I don't know.
Like that deal would have probably been on the table as well for Chelsea. Maybe not at that time though, innit? And Sancho's thing, like not that season. Maybe Chelsea were looking at him the season after, or maybe even Liverpool. Because
would they pay for him?
75 or 80 million?
That's what I mean. 75 million for a player that was decent in a different league.
Yeah, and he's 20 or 21 or something, and he's on 300 grand a week. So like, where you just taken away every bit of, for me, every
drive,
inch of passion, desire to actually. He doesn't care. Why would he care with whether he's putting an 8 in or a 6?
When he's
these players, it's not the same as it was before. They're not as close to the fans.
No,
they're not as people person. They're like way up there, innit? They're like massive, super celebrities.
They're super rich now.
That's what it is. And so they're they're behind their security team in their chauffeured cars and stuff. So they don't care.
But you can see that the players that do care. I'll give you one example. Who's on that money, and he's one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world. I think Kante. He is a normal geezer, and that guy puts in a 10
you could just tell that he just, like, for example,
he loves
someone like Kante, exactly. He loves what he does, and he even loves even more the fact that due to what he does, he can provide so many other people with other things. Kante does so much for his for his communities and charity work and stuff like that. And I guess that's what would make someone like me, for example, that's what would make me happy. If I'm on 250 grand a week, I know the only reason I would ask for stuff like that amount of money is
to give it back.
Exactly. You don't need. What do you need that for ultimately?
Don't need it. You don't need it. It'd be interesting to see how Lingard does that at Nottingham Forest. I can't believe he got 200 grand a week at Nottingham Forest. But, that's what happens when you come from United, isn't it? You have to pay it. And he would have probably said, "I'm not moving from it.
Yeah.
You have to give me 200 grand, or I'm going somewhere else, isn't it?"
Yeah. Well, he definitely would have other offers on it. Yeah, well, West Ham would have definitely been in there. 100%. West Ham.
Don't know if they would have paid him 200 grand a week because then you got to pay Rice 200 grand.
That's the thing. I don't. No. Well, Rice is not accepting 200 grand a week.
Oh yeah.
They want to put him on like a 20-year deal or 200 grand a week.
Mental.
No, not 20 year, like 6-year deal or something, 200 grand a week.
That makes sense. But I say
it doesn't make sense for him.
We do. No.
It doesn't. Actually.
It doesn't.
If he get injured next year, his performance could completely go through the floor. But he'll still be on 200 grand a week for the next 6 years. He might not ever have to play a game of football again because of an injury, but he'll still be on that money. So
that's what I'm saying. Do you
have to weigh it up?
Do you not think like clubs should start now offering players 2-year deals, 1-year deals on a decent wage, and then you have to perform to get the next year. You can't just be on a 6-year deal on 300 grand a week.
But again, it's a business for them from the club's perspective. And the player in a way is security, and from the club's perspective, it's security and it's a business move. Because if someone wants to come and nick that player, they don't pay it. Exactly. They have to pay that upfront premium. They can't just say, "Oh, wait, he's on a 2-year deal. Well, let's wait a year and then pay him a fraction of what we was going to originally have to pay him." You know what I mean? Or if anything, let's just wait for the 2 years to be done and sign him on a free.
Yeah, and that's what people do. That's what Ramsey will do. That's what Pogba's done now. People just let their contracts run down, and then they get the big money.
Football's becoming quite like NBA and sports like that in terms of the players fully have control now.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
The players are fully in control, which I'm not mad about at the same time, but the way a lot of the players go about things, you shouldn't have that control, in my opinion.
Not as much. No.
You don't deserve it.
No, not as much.
You haven't earned it. What makes you think you've earned it? Because someone's giving you a big contract.
Yeah, that's where
you have to start again, proving why you've been given that big contract. Exactly. Not saying I've got the big contract, it's time to bake off.
Imagine at work.
Let me put my feet up.
Imagine at work.
Doesn't work.
Someone's come to you as a recruiter and they said, "Listen, I know you're on 60 grand. I'm going to give you the same job at a different company, 120 grand. Are you going to go in on that Monday and think, I fucking made it, put your feet up? No, you're going to work hard.
Yes.
Because you know you have to keep that to
And you
keep
just
getting
like,
paid.
wait, I was doing the same job and now I'm getting double for doing the same job.
I'm going to try
Let me
hard.
graft, innit?
Exactly.
Let me keep this job.
That's a normal thing to do, but these lot don't understand that.
They're not in the normal world, innit?
Well, yeah, obviously not. Obviously not.
But anyway, we're going a bit off topic, to be fair. I would say top 4 for me. For me, unfortunately, I would like to call myself a realist of a Liverpool fan.
You're not going to win. It doesn't matter about choosing first, innit? Just pick the top 4. We know Man City and Liverpool are done.
Cool, right.
Pick 3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay.
From all the other teams.
For me, 3 and 4 this season will be Tottenham and Arsenal.
You reckon?
Yeah. And that's I'm putting my neck out for that one as well, to be honest, because I'm saying that Chelsea and United are not getting top 4 this year.
Yeah, that's a big statement. I agree with you all the way until it gets to Arsenal. I think Chelsea will swap out for Arsenal. I think Chelsea will finish third again because ultimately they'll probably make like 4 other signings.
Maybe, but that's the thing. Maybe.
If
they do, they're looking at something like Fofana for 80 million.
The Leicester.
Yes, they're looking at, and then Cucurella for 50 million. And then De Jong another 60 million.
So they could change the team
very quickly. Innit? For me, that's not happening. They're not making them 3 signings.
They're not.
No. I mean, as in that all together, they won't get all 3 of them. No way.
Geez, they got the money though.
They've got. That's not to say they've got the money. It's sometimes whatever the player wants as well. Because Cucurella was supposed to be going to City for as long as I can remember.
True.
But
yeah,
Chelsea
that was
just sign whatever other clubs are interested in players, isn't it? They look at their scouting record and then they follow them. Copy and paste.
I would agree with you on the fact that I don't think United are going to get in. I just don't see where they're going to I don't see where they score goals from.
I think they'll improve for sure
defensively, but I don't think they'll score the goals.
As a whole, I think they'll but it was really weird watching United, to be honest.
At the end of last season.
Yeah, last year, even with the end of Oli, it was almost like the players were fully just throwing these geezers under the bus.
Yeah.
No matter who it was that was in charge. There was this Wreck-It Ralph, that was supposed to come in and tell everyone they're this and they're that and sort everything out. What? They didn't even listen to him. They didn't care what he was saying.
That's what I'm saying. When I look at this list, I see Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United. And honestly, if I was going against what I'm saying, I would agree with you in the fact that the top 4 is going to be City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, because Tottenham, Arsenal, because Conte and Arteta have way more control over their teams than the Chelsea and United.
I feel like there is just more togetherness.
Way more togetherness. When you're playing for Arsenal, that's a pride thing.
Yeah,
in London for Arsenal. When you play for Chelsea, no one cares. It's not a pride thing. For me anyway, I'm an Arsenal fan.
You're going to say that.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't care about Chelsea.
Some people are Chelsea fans, isn't it? So they're like, they're proud to play for Chelsea or whatever it is.
But Arsenal,
it's in London as well.
For me, Arsenal, like even though we might not have had the most success, but our playing style came into the game, and now that's what you lot have taken on. This is what Liverpool play like. This is what Man City and Barcelona tiki taka.
You could argue that.
I'm telling you, Arsenal brought that style of play to England, and that's why people are like, oh, Arsenal, Arsenal, yeah. All the people, like loads of different people in Africa, in Asia, America, they all support Arsenal. Loads of people support Arsenal.
It's true.
No one really supports Chelsea. You support Chelsea?
No, they haven't got
that's what I mean. Arsenal is a team. Do you get it? It's a proud team.
Chelsea, if they continue to win Champions Leagues, it won't be long until Chelsea are way far and above Arsenal.
We've never won a Champions League, and we still have all those fans. Do you get it? So Arsenal it's not just about the football. It's a whole club in itself.
Yeah.
Chelsea is a buying club. They were 15th before Abramovich came in.
Well, that's the thing. I think now you're going to see players starting to leave Chelsea.
You will. They might go to Arsenal.
Players as keen to join Chelsea as they were with free spending Roman. Even though this Todd geezer does seem like he's trying to spend some money. No one wants to sign for them, but he's trying to spend some money.
In your opinion, next season, who's going to do better, Saka or Mount? In your opinion. But all I'm asking for is 38 games played. Who's going to have more goals and more assists? That's what I'm asking for. Even if but one of them plays less games than the other, who's going to have more goals and more assists? That's what it comes down to in their positions. They need to give the ball out to score, and they need to score. You know who I'm going to say, innit?
I would probably just say Saka.
That's what I'm going to say.
I would say Saka. But it's not to say that Chelsea couldn't easily. The reason why I'm saying Saka, to be completely honest, as well, is that Chelsea have more options than Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Saka is the star boy in it.
Yeah.
There's no question.
But then you tell me who else in Chelsea is going to get more goals and assists than Saka? Apart from Mason Mount in Chelsea.
Havertz, maybe?
No chance. Not happening. Well, it's your opinion. I'm saying, I'm giving you an option. I'm giving you the answer, but I'm saying I don't.
Listen, if Werner wanted to start firing and hit the back of the net,
this guy
he'd be top goal scorer.
Guy's a serial misser.
I promise you.
He's a serial misser.
The amount of chances that geezer gets.
Yeah.
And so
the players
he could
around
just turn it
him.
around, and he's young. It's not to say he just didn't have a bit of, I don't know.
What do you reckon? Gabriel Jesus scoring more than Werner this year?
I would have
100%.
So, yeah.
100% he is.
No, my question was who's going to score more, Gabriel Jesus or
Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Oh, not Harry Kane, Haaland.
Haaland, yeah, that was it.
If he scores more goals than Haaland, it is on. If he gets top goal scorer, it's not happening.
That's
but it's a good dream.
I think that'd be quite.
It's a hilarious dream.
If Jesus actually not even gets top goal scorer, just scores more than Haaland.
More goals than Haaland.
That would just be hilarious.
Brilliant. Because they would have signed him for double.
So is Pep really this top amazing fantastic manager that can get the best out of everyone?
Geez, that's what I mean.
Apparently not.
When you can keep spending 60 mil on squad players.
Exactly, you just work it out eventually. Eventually you're
going
to be like, oh okay, yes, we found the £60 million player that works.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? We've tried with 50 million Mendy, no comment. We tried with, well, Carl Walker is still there to be fair.
Carl Walker's decent.
But they've gone with Ake, 50 million, Stones 50 million, Laporte 50 million, what's his name? Otamendi was like 30 million.
Diaz like 60
Diaz was 60 million. So they can just keep going.
It
doesn't work out. It doesn't work out.
That's not a real club, innit? I don't care. Any City fans want to come at me, you lot are not a real club. You're in a different. You might as well go join the Super League by yourself because you're playing against you is pointless.
It's not that. It's not.
It is.
It's just saying
they're annoying.
They play. Pep plays football manager in it.
They're
like
annoying.
Other managers are in reality and they have to deal with the confines of well, I don't know if it exists anymore. Financial fair play, but to an extent in it, they can only spend as much as the club is allowed to bring in or whatever.
Yeah, but then the geezer's cousin goes and sponsors the corner flags for 50 mil, and then they buy a player 50 mil.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even if I'm just saying, ignore financial fair play. Let's say
ignore it. Oh yeah.
Clubs are still in the confines of having to
spend
sell players or get some earnings from sponsorships or whatever else it is to be able to buy new players and bring new players in. City do not have that problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's not a real club. They're not a real club. And Newcastle, if they're 10 times as rich as the City lot, that's not a club either. Not going to have no problem. They don't, like football for me is like how can you make that team better on the pitch, but without actually spending that much money? Like
that's,
being economical,
recycling. Which is where you would say, like for example, a lot of people give Klopp a lot of credit for it's not just for Liverpool, for Mainz in Germany and for Dortmund.
For me,
and then coming on to Liverpool.
For me, Klopp is a way better manager than Pep, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Everyone can slate me. No. I agree with that as well. I mean, from a biased point of view, obviously, and I would say from a non-biased point of view, because of the reasons you just said as well, innit? Like, Pep's always kind of had it set. You went to Barcelona, you had Messi, you had Xavi, you had Iniesta, you had Busquets, you had Puyol, Piqué, Daniel. You had all these players.
And you had the money.
Exactly, and you could just buy whoever you wanted as well.
And everyone wanted to go to Barcelona because you're Barcelona.
People still want to go to Barcelona even though they can't even pay their players. Do you know what I mean? People are still signing for Barcelona. Even though they don't know if they're going to be registered or not.
Yeah, it's a statue.
You could be a free agent in a week. Like Depay and that.
Might not get the money either.
Are looking and thinking, you might be.
No.
And I would say Aubameyang, for example, he took a big pay cut from Arsenal to go Barcelona.
That's a joke. You know?
So
imagine that he took a pay cut from us to go to them.
Yes,
he's a joker, absolute joker.
Now he could be out of a contract because they might not be able to register. And they've spent the most in Europe this year.
Barcelona.
How?
When do they get the money?
Exactly.
That's a different topic.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah.
That's a whole different topic. But I honestly think.
So Pep, yeah, he's had it nice wherever he's gone. Barcelona, then you go Bayern Munich. If you go Bayern Munich and you do not win the league every year, you're a joke. You are a joke.
Klopp won it with Borussia Dortmund, isn't it?
I don't know if he won it.
Did he come close?
In the time when Pep was there or not.
I don't know about Pep, but Klopp won it though, innit?
He did win it,
Because it was in the Champions League, innit? For that reason. Made it to the final, no?
Yeah,
they lost against Real Madrid.
No, they played Bayern Munich.
Oh, they played Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich would have come second and got all the way through and beat them.
No, I think Germany's you can top 4.
Oh, it's top 4 as well?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, I honestly think if I was being biased and I wanted to get Arsenal in the top 4, it'd be City, Liverpool, Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
But if I'm being a realist and I look at the clubs and I look at what they actually do at the end of the season, we will be in that top 4 until the last 5 games and we'll bottle it and we'll finish 5th. That's what will happen. And it will be Chelsea that replace us.
Well, that is a problem as well, isn't it? And do you know what? The thing I'm most looking forward to seeing about Arsenal this year is the discipline.
Yeah.
If Arteta hasn't sorted out the discipline between the defence and the midfield, it doesn't matter. You're not going to solve anything.
But Guys, we still have Granit Xhaka.
This is the problem. And you have players like Xhaka, who obviously some people love him. I don't really understand why some people love him.
Because he does the basics, innit? But the basics should be what is normal, and then you do more. You can't just do the basics and play for Arsenal. That's not how I feel. Go play for Norwich City and go up and down, yo-yo yourself in the Championship.
But obviously he's liable for a red card in a big game. He's liable to kill you in a big game when it's probably pretty tight. Where if you still had the 11 men on the pitch, it'd be a completely different game.
Not even that. Forget about him getting sent off. Him on the pitch playing as an 11 is shocking. I don't want him in there. I'd rather play with 10. I'd rather start with 10 against 11 because he does nothing.
No.
Geezer scores 1 goal against Man United from 30 yards and all the fans love him.
That's the thing. But Arsenal fans are quite fickle.
Listen, Granit Xhaka, I never forgot when you booed the fans in it. I never forgot that,
exactly.
And I will never forgive you.
Yes,
and I hate you for it.
I don't know why Arsenal fans have.
I don't care. I don't like
Granit Xhaka. If you swore as the captain of Liverpool, flipped off the whole of Anfield, you wouldn't even make it back to your house. You would have not made it back to your house.
You would have been gone. This is what I'm saying. Arsenal.
I don't understand. Obviously, that was I'm not threatening anyone, but I'm just saying that's an extreme example.
He flipped all
if you're flipping off 50,000 people,
be prepared for
expect a slap in the face, innit? Because one person's going to slap you.
And then what did he do? He went off and cried about it and then did an apology video anyway. So you're a bottle job. If you're going to stick to it, stick to it. He's the same as Richarlison.
Xhaka is a
bottle jobs.
He's got no place, and this is my problem with Arsenal, because they've accepted and just allowed players like him to run riot in the team for how many years now?
And look at thing. I don't know how good Lokonga is yet in it, but to me he looks very similar to a player that Xhaka is. And I don't want that type of player. He can't play a 5-yard pass really. It takes 10 minutes to get into the game when he's subbed on. I need a player that comes in and plays good. I don't want Xhaka again. Party, lovely. Someone like Basima, beautiful. And Didi,
is he lovely?
Beautiful.
I've heard other things.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, Party. He's gone now.
No, actually, he's not good. He's not good.
Oh
and
my!
And it's not a situation to laugh about either.
No, it's not to laugh about. But I'm saying it's the Arsenal players we have left. We've got Xhaka.
Yeah. No, Party's still there. He's gonna play.
What do you mean he's gonna play? He's not gonna get arrested. He's not gonna play for us.
He's gonna play. He'll play. He's been dropped.
He's been dropped.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, we're looking a bit better now then, isn't it? Because if we didn't have Party, we'd have Lokonga and Xhaka.
Is El still there?
Huh?
El
Don't talk to me about that guy.
See what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. Party has been injury prone for his whole career. Whole Arsenal career anyway, sorry. So you just know for a fact that El Neni is going to get games that year.
Geez, when your centre midfielders wear numbers over 20, they're dead. They are dead. Name me a midfielder now, I'm number 20 in the Premier League centre mid. Decent, go on. That's not on loan from that's not on loan from somewhere.
I have to go through the team. I don't even know a lot of the people's squad numbers.
Give it a rest.
So I'm just trying to think. Like Moutinho.
What's Kevin De Bruyne's number?
Moutinho's 28. Then there you go.
No man, he's an attacking midfielder, centre midfielder.
He's not an attacking midfielder.
Rodri.
What number?
What number is
like
Rodri?
20 something.
No, he's not.
He is, man. He's like 20 something. He might be like 21.
Fabinho.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, Henderson, 14. He wears Henri's number then. Give it a rest, man. I'm telling you, Xhaka needs to leave the club until he's left the club, we're not finishing top 4. That's a fact. Because he's not Champions League quality.
No, he's not. For me, I think, well, you've had Xhaka in your team for far too long. Far too. He's 16.
Told you, brother. There's no player in the Premier League that goes over 20. That's decent in centre midfield. Who number 34? Who's number 34? That's ever been good in the world. Yeah. You tell me. No one. The goalkeeper.
Arsenal fans say Xhaka.
Xhaka's horrible.
I don't know how he's managed to flip off the whole of the Emirates and get away with it.
I don't like
and get back in
Never
the team.
liked him. Listen, if you sit next to me in the Arsenal stadium when I go, yeah.
I know, yeah.
The other 10 players, I'm clapping. Him, I'm berating him every single time he touches the ball. Get off the ball. I don't want him on the ball. Move off the ball. I give it to Arteta.
That's what Xhaka just passes it off.
Arteta should just sub himself on. He would play better.
When I went to watch Arsenal Liverpool at Emirates.
Did you win? Did we win?
I think it was a draw actually.
We're liable for
those. It was a draw. But yeah, Xhaka was the worst player on the pitch. By far.
The worst player.
5-yard passes, 20-yard pass, whatever he was trying, it was just not happening. Like, he's one of the worst. And on the flip side, just so that Arsenal fans don't think that I'm just a hater for some reason.
No, he's rubbish.
I've seen one of my favourite players I ever watched live as well, Santi Cazorla.
Oh, unbelievable.
Santi Cazorla.
Unbelievable.
People will not appreciate how good of a footballer
technically
Santi Cazorla was. Like,
Alexis Sanchez.
You need to go and see them people in person, like, to actually fully appreciate it. And the speed of that everyone else is going and the way that they just slow things down to their pace.
When was the last time at Arsenal you were scared of a centre midfielder? And I'm not even speaking about Fabregas.
Sorry, is that in the past, what, 5 years?
Never.
No way.
You have to go back to the 2003 season when Vieira's there.
Yeah, well, you could Fabregas.
No, but he's not scary. He's a good player.
But it doesn't matter. No, you can be fear people because of their talent and their ability in it.
But I'm talking about a big 6'2" geezer who stops the play in it.
You haven't had that.
No one. Isn't it? Really? That's what we need.
Yeah.
And we ain't got that.
And that's what I've always said that as well. And if you look at really successful teams,
they have
throughout the years, through their spine, they've got some meaty players, tall players that people will just fear. Like, even without going up against them, you just look at him and you think, oh, he's massive in it. Didn't know he was that big in person.
That's what I'm saying. Even someone like Paul Pogba, people fear him because he's that big.
Yeah, and you can see he could hold
and
off
he
2 or
moves
3
people
players.
off the ball. Yeah, when he wants to, he moves people off the ball in it. But we don't have that. No. People like Leicester City have.
That's where I think
Tottenham even have that now.
You could go and get Ndidi.
That's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get Basimo and Ndidi, and we haven't got them. We've still got Xhaka. When is his career going to end?
Elements, but even still,
that's not Tielemans. That's an attacking.
Exactly. This is not.
That's Odegaard.
I fully think it's someone that you need. Exactly.
I don't need
him.
You need
someone who's going to be in there beefing up, because I still don't think Partey's that guy.
Nah, he's not that guy. Partey's not that guy.
To beef up the midfield, break up play.
Partey's soft. He looks hard. He's soft.
He doesn't.
Soft.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'll move that geezer off the ball 1 arm. I'm telling you now. Because if I want that ball, this is what I'm saying. I'm not a football player in it. I'm not getting paid £200,000 a week in it. But if I want that ball because I love football, no one's moving me off that ball. I'm getting the ball. Wow. You might move me in it, but I'm telling you now, until I give my last breath, you're not moving me off the ball. And that's how no one thinks anymore.
Yeah.
Not Partey, not Xhaka, not El Neni.
You do need to have that
the tenacity.
Yeah,
that's why I like Torreira. Because he was active. You start fouling people, breaking up play.
He was just too little.
Is that 2 foot?
Yeah, he was just too little.
Telling you, when was the last time we had a decent player like that? It's been Vieira, Petit, Perez. Look at our past players who won us the Premier Leagues and FA Cups. They're big people. They're not as jacked as
and if you look at our team now, for example, I like to use our team as an example. Van Dijk, all the way through. Matty,
Konate. Even Darwin's big.
Yeah, now, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You need, for whatever reason it is, you need big players through the spine just for that the other players just fear, even before the ball's even been kicked.
And the thing is, you know why I like Arsenal's team now? And I'm not even being biased. All the players that I look at, right wing, left wing, attacking mid, I could start to equal them out to the City players and Liverpool players now. Odegaard, decent. Saka, decent. I'm not saying they're better. I'm just saying I feel a bit more confident.
No, of course you should. But no, you should look at the team and be like, okay, you've got players that want to, and they're tenacious. The players that you just they want to win.
They want to
They're
win.
still winners, isn't it?
They want to win. And you know what? If we don't win anything in the next 2 years, I would not begrudge them leaving because you're bigger than the club. Then you're better than us, isn't it? I don't want you in the same team as Xhaka.
And if we go off past experiences,
They might go Liverpool, wouldn't it?
no, it would be Liverpool. I would assume.
And go City or United, isn't it? Well, City now because
City
United
have given you
probably-
2 players, your Jesus and.
Oh, you reckon we're
Zinchenko.
getting ready to give them Saka? Oh.
If you don't get top 4 next year, this season coming up, City, the big clubs are coming raiding, 100%. Because he's the Saka, for example. That's the main person I'm talking about. He's the golden boy for Arsenal, but also he's ridiculous for England as well.
Ridiculous.
So clubs are going to be circling 100%.
We need to win.
And if I don't know how many years left is on his contract or anything like that, but let's say he signed a 4-year last year, and he goes another, so he's got 2 years left. Arsenal might even look at it as a good time to sell, because because of history again, players run down their contracts and just leave on a free. You definitely don't want that with that type of player. You need to.
I wouldn't want him to leave on a free. I want him to sign him on another contract.
Well,
I
yes,
don't want
of
him
course.
to leave.
No, I know, yeah, of course. But if your team isn't matching his expectations and what he wants to achieve, that's what footballers they leave, isn't it? And that's fair enough. If you want to be a winner and if you want to win and you don't want to just get paid because you know you're going to get your 100 grand a week anyway, whether you come 5th, 6th or 18th, like you could get relegated or whatever.
Say 17.
17, so you're going to get relegated, yeah, 17. Like if you want to win and it's not just about the money, then go and win, please.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't begrudge them. I would
prefer that rather you sit and just waste away on your contracts, just not doing anything, and you waste your career just because I don't know why. Anyway, well, you was comfortable with the money in it.
Who is going to begrudge them leaving Xhaka and Partey and going to either Man City that has Rodri and De Bruyne, or Rodri, Foden, De Bruyne, all these different types of people. Gundogan, who's still one of the unbelievable in his position.
Yeah.
I'm not going to begrudge them it because I wouldn't want to play with Xhaka. He's rubbish.
No, I know completely.
I wouldn't want to be played the ball by Xhaka. I want to be played the ball by De Bruyne because then I know my next touch is in on goal. Not Xhaka passing it behind you or you're going back to Xhaka and then we go back to defence. Watching them at the stadium is painful. Yeah. It actually hurts me. Watching Tierney as well I'm so happy that he's trying to sign defenders now because watching Tierney his positioning's horrible. Me and this geezer that sit next to each other at the games, every single time the ball goes down, that left wing or their right wing, our left back, we're just looking at each other like he's gonna get caught out. You know he's gonna get caught out. Just gets caught out. Then they're through on goal, they score.
But this is the thing, yeah. If you compare, so again, I'm gonna compare because the way you play as well is similar to how Liverpool plays. When Robertson goes forward, and people like Trent go forward.
This is what I'm saying.
No.
I want Robertson.
Wait. I'm backing up your point here.
No, but I want Robertson. He's way better.
He gets help. You lot don't help each other we help each other.
They don't help. No,
it's not like one player makes a mistake and that's it. That will normally cost a goal for Arsenal.
Yeah.
That won't cost a goal for Liverpool.
No.
It won't cost a goal because someone else will come and clear it up or do something, innit? It seems that if there's one mistake, that's it. It falls apart. A goal scored.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We need to have players like Xhaka and Partey are there to protect Tierney and players like that.
The geezer can't run anywhere, man. The geezer, you're right. You're 100% right. When Arsenal make one mistake, we more or less either let them in on goal or they score.
Yeah.
Whereas Liverpool, Man City, they can make 6 mistakes in the midfield and there's 6 cleanups going on.
That's the thing.
That's not happening at Arsenal. Yeah. Which is why I say we drop out of the top 4 unless Chelsea underperform and then we beat them to it.
Yeah.
Because Tottenham, for me, as much as it hurts me to say, and there's a lot of people that I know that are Tottenham fans that will love me saying this, their squad, their manager, their team's better. Their 11 is better. It is better. It's hard for me to say that, but I'm a realist, you know? I'm not one of those people that will just say Arsenal are going to win the league because Gabriel Jesus scored 3 in the Emirates Cup final. That I know Arsenal fans like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with certain Arsenal fans that I speak to and stuff like that. They're
too much in the class.
I don't know where they're living 20 years ago in the past.
Yeah.
They're living when they were boys. Yeah. When they were boys celebrating winning the Prem and stuff like that. When they was in primary school. You know,
I know what you mean. Arsenal have made me appreciative of being happy and humble for where you are because I watched Arsenal up until the age of 9. I was going to the parades.
Literally,
we were parading about FA Cups and flipping nearly won the Champions League. Nearly.
Yeah.
But now I've seen nothing apart from like 2 FA Cups and a couple leagues. And I don't really care. As much people might say, oh, you can't say you don't like the FA Cup. I don't want it anymore. I want the Champions League.
You've won it enough, innit? You can leave the FA Cup for a
We're
few
the
years.
holders, innit, of the FA Cup.
Basically.
No one's won more FA Cups than us.
Basically.
I don't need it anymore. Let's get a Champions
League.
League.
Leave that one alone and focus on other stuff.
Let's get a Champions
But
League.
it's still, this is the thing with Arsenal fans. I still feel like because they're so used to winning the FA Cup, it kind of does paper over the cracks slightly in a bad season. You know what I mean? That Aubameyang, the guy
for me, it didn't paper over.
The guy played the FA Cup run, got you to the FA Cup, arguably won you the FA Cup.
There's obviously another 10 players,
but he scored the goals and what he had to play.
He put in a decent shift against City and Chelsea.
And in games you were not supposed to win.
Yeah, City
it wasn't
and Chelsea
games that you were supposed to. You weren't supposed to get to the final or even win it.
Definitely not.
So he scored in moments. That was it. You had moments in games, and that's what won you the game.
Yeah.
And that papered over the crack for Arsenal fans. It got his 350 grand a week deal. Papered over the cracks. We got on a trophy.
That's what I'm saying. Every Arsenal fan that I spoke to was buzzing that we signed him. And I was saying, I was asking them, have you been to the games this year? Have you actually watched him play?
It's like
he's horrible.
You're not gonna give someone 32 or 33 the biggest contract of their life and expect them to go and push and do better than they did the year before.
No way. He put his foot on the brakes.
He's chilled out. That's why he got that. He got it for like a year at Arsenal. And he went to Barcelona. He's happy to take the pay cut
because he got the 350
exactly
on his biggest paycheck at his oldest age. Come on, man. No, that's what I'm saying.
But now, someone like Jesus, you've got someone who's got good desire, I think, to win. He's a bit of a baby a lot of the time.
I think that will have to change now because he's going to be our striker. He has to be able to barge defenders. He has to back up into them. He has to be.
But like in terms of decisions and stuff like that, like he's a baby in a City team that get every decision.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So he needs to cut that out at Arsenal because things don't go your way.
No.
It just doesn't.
No. We have to.
You have to create your own luck as well. But yeah, in recent times, big decisions haven't really gone Arsenal's way. You could say.
No, we don't. Well, we used to get quite a lot of penalties. I don't know what the stats are. I could be wrong, but I don't really remember that many penalties watching them. We've got quite a few against us, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because Gabriel and flipping Ben White.
Gabriel, man. He's just.
But I
like Gabriel.
I like him. But he's a head case.
He is a head case, and he's one that he will put you in trouble. He's just like Xhaka. I think he means well, but he's just a head case every now and then, and he gets sent off, and he gives away penalties in big games, big moments, and you can't come back from it really. No.
But looking at like the top four and looking at where I think where we might sneak into it is the fact that you're right. We need to actually make sure that our team play for each other now.
Exactly.
Because Man United are not going to do that.
A bit more together, isn't it?
Yeah. Chelsea are not going to do that. Man United are not going to do that. Tottenham will do that because of Conte.
Yeah.
And we have to do that to get in the top four.
Yeah.
Man City and Liverpool, sorry.
You have to play for each other.
Yeah, that's what City do.
Too many times as players in that team that were playing for themselves with no care of the end result, really. Do you know what I mean? If I scored, doesn't matter if we lost 4-1, I've done my job, we scored, I'm happy.
It's true.
That's not a real footballer.
And that's where the gap is between what I think is like an Arsenal player and a Liverpool and City player. Whereas we were happy with someone at left back like Kolasinac. Even though, even though he wasn't technically gifted, the reason why we loved him is because he gave his all.
Yeah.
But the thing is with City and Liverpool is they get the players that are that technically gifted and they give their all. Yeah. That's the gap. That's the gap we need to close. Yeah. And that's what Saka is. That's what Smith Rowe is. That's what Odegaard is.
Exactly.
They're hard workers.
Yes, I believe that's what Jesus is. Zinchenko, I do believe that
he's a hard worker.
They have care and they will actually bring up the overall mentality of the team will be brought up because of them players.
I'm happy to go with your four. To be honest, because it makes me happy because Arsenal might make it. But if I'm being a realist, I think we drop out until next year again. Next year, we get Xhaka out. Who's we got the Vieira geezer. He's supposed to be quite decent on the ball. Yeah. So if we get him, Partey, maybe someone else that just swaps in and out every week, Ndidi, then I think we'll finish top four. But this season, we got Granit Xhaka. We're not finishing top four. That's my opinion. Got Granit Xhaka. We ain't finishing top four. And when we keep Granit Xhaka, we're not finishing top four. When was the last time we finished top four? Every single season we had Granit Xhaka, no?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, geezer's rubbish. needs to give it a rest.
I promise you, he's one of the worst players I've ever watched live, without a doubt.
I'm not surprised. I 100% believe it. He's horrible to watch. El Nenny's better than him on the pitch because he actually passes the ball to people.
But if you watch El Nene and Xhaka together,
oh my god, you might as well just watch paint dry. Because it'd be more fun.
It was like watching Henderson and Ronaldo. And
so
people
boring,
are going to give me stick for that, but I don't care because it is so boring. They've got no intentions of doing anything positive. No intentions. Their job is I've got a role. I've got my job description. It says one line. It says keep possession.
That's it.
That's what they do.
That's it.
Which again, at the same time, okay, cool. It's a good thing. You need certain players in there that are just going to do that, but you don't need 2 and 3 of them out of the 3 in midfield.
Exactly. And the thing is,
one of them
Fabinho's good enough to do that job and all the others.
Fabinho does that as well, so it's almost free, but for 3 players are doing the same job basically. But Fabinho is way more.
Technically gifted, exactly, and he's got more assists. Gives the second assist. I think that's more important is second assist, isn't it? From that defensive midfield position, you should be getting you should be getting at least 10 a season, second assist, at least. Because you're supposed to play that pass that opens up the space that then gives that next pass to space. And Xhaka's never doing that.
But even like I was saying, our midfield, Henderson and Wijnaldum. If you go through the stats through the past however many years, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, you might even find Xhaka has better stats than Wijnaldum, someone like Wijnaldum or Henderson, because they don't.
I doubt it.
A midfielder in Liverpool to have a goal record of 3 or 4 goals in a season is just ridiculous. In the best Liverpool team that we've seen for 20, 30 years.
Because you got Mo Salah and Sane both scoring 23, so it's allowed.
No. But I'm saying you're in a team that controls possession. You dominate the game. Most games.
Oh, and then these lot still don't do anything.
There's still barely any assists, barely any goals, and this is why it's so easy for other teams to figure us out. Because it's we don't want Wijnaldum, he's not going to shoot. Henderson's not going to shoot. He's going to pass to Trent or he's going to pass to Robertson. They're going to try and find Salah and Mane, or now it's Salah and Diaz or Salah and Nunez. And that's it, that's the way, and it's so one-dimensional. It's play it out wide to Trent, play it out wide to Robbo, whip balls into the box. Play it out wide to Trent, play it out to Robbo. Try and find Salah to go 1v1 against him.
But the thing is it's one-dimensional, but because the quality's there, you still beat teams.
Yeah, but it's different now, isn't it? It's different now because you have now we've got someone like Thiago. Thiago is just a wonderful footballer. I love when we signed Thiago, I was so excited.
Wonderful.
And then we ended up going and having the year that we did with Virgil getting injured and whatever else. But that's another thing. That's another story. Thiago is one of the best central midfielders on the ball in the world, without a doubt. He has been his whole career.
Yeah, his
ability on the ball,
unbelievable. We may have to do another one of these. Because we're saying that Chelsea probably going to make about another 4 signings, or they might not. Well, you lot are not going to sign anyone. Yours is done. City's they'll probably maybe make 1 signing for squad player for 70 mil, probably. I don't think we're going to sign anyone else now. I haven't heard anything from that. I think our summer's done. I think Tottenham have pretty much closed up shop because they've got really good people on loan. I don't think United are going to have any more signings. They might do, but this is why we might have to do an updated version.
Yes, we can. Just before. We can do it
1 day before the because by that time there would have been 3 or 4 games, so we can kind of see how teams are shaping up.
Yeah, you can gauge it,
and then we might have to do an updated, or we could just leave this one and see how it works out. So you're saying City, Liverpool, that's a given, but your real guesses are Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Would you like to say who's going to finish 3rd or 4th? Do you reckon we're going to pip Tottenham or they're going to pip us, in your estimation?
I think it's either going to go 1 or 2 ways in terms of top 4. You're either going to be a lot closer, both of you actually, are going to be a lot closer to us than City, or you're going to be 20 points behind both of us. And you're
still going to be close.
It's going to be close for you, innit? That's what I'm saying. So, I don't know.
I honestly think, in my personal opinion,
I still think it's early for Arsenal to come 3rd.
It's not. We're not coming 4th. We're not coming 3rd.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Coming 5th next year.
No, but you were so close, and with the additions that you've made,
Bottle jobs.
Doesn't matter. You can actually win games.
Just
with
remember,
the better quality of player.
Just remember that CB and that centre midfield is the same. Remember that, yeah.
No, but you got another CB now. You got
Saliba,
6'3" Saliba. This is someone that you now is a commanding force, commanding centre back.
Now I need someone like him in midfield.
He's like Virgil's size.
Yeah.
He's about the same height as Virgil.
Size.
So that's exactly what I was saying. You need just one person like that. It makes so much difference.
For corners, for crosses.
I'm not even. Should I not get past this geezer? Nah, I'm not gonna get past. So they just turn back, and then by the time you've done that, you've got other players coming back into the positions, and they just sit there. That's it, and it thwarts the whole attack. If you've got players like Ben White and Gabriel, every striker in the Prem reckons they can knock it past them, and then
100%.
In it.
Definitely,
and that just
Ben White.
causes problems.
Definitely.
It just causes problems. That's all it does.
In my opinion, we bought the wrong centre back. You know, Newcastle got the better centre back from Brighton in Dan Burn because he's like 6'6".
You could argue if you put
Why
him,
wouldn't we sign him?
if you put him alongside a decent ball playing centre back.
Even Gabriel would have been alright.
Yeah, like
He's 6'6". He's gonna win every head in the box, every corner's cleared.
Dan Burn.
I think he's like 6 something, isn't it? He's massive.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Arsenal, in my opinion, finishing 5th. So my top 4 is City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. I even think we'll finish 5th. United might even finish 6th or 7th.
6th, yeah.
Because I just don't see where they're scoring.
It's a make or break season for United, for me. Definitely.
For Arteta it is as well.
Kind of, yeah.
If you don't perform now after you've made a 50 million signing...
Actually, do you know what? Saying that, now you just said that as well, sorry. It's a make or break season for most managers going for the top 4.
All of them for the top.
Chelsea don't like to keep managers for that long. If you don't win the Prem and then the World Cup the next year, like
they ask for the maddest stuff.
So yeah, no matter what you do at Chelsea, your job's never safe, innit?
No.
So that he just needs to have a bad 6 months and then Tuchel's out the door, which I can see happening, to be honest.
Same, because the players just might not play for him.
Exactly. And they've lost people like they've lost Rudiger, Christensen, like they've lost
big players.
Decent centre backs there. I think Rudiger is one of the best centre backs in the league.
So do I. He's mad at guarding the ball.
And you have to see if Koulibaly comes in and kind of picks off.
Koulibaly big? How big is Koulibaly?
He's big. Yeah, he's big.
6'2", 6'3". He's
Probably,
big.
Yeah. But there's been some funny compilations. With Salah's just Salah just ripping him every single time. But yeah, that's
Salah, isn't it? He is world class, isn't it?
But I remember watching a game actually when Koulibaly, when we were playing Napoli, and Koulibaly absolutely had Salah in his pocket.
There you go, innit?
So don't listen to these compilations like.
Now you gotta watch the game. Yeah. That's why I say to Arsenal fans, don't speak to me about Aubameyang or these players before when you didn't go and watch the games, innit? Because when you sit there and watch that player
for 90 minutes, watching what the person does for 90 minutes, not what they do for 30 seconds when they score a goal.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
90.
And that's why Xhaka, Lokonga, Tierney, these people, in my opinion, they need to leave because, or in fact, I'll take that back. Stay in the team, but be on the bench.
This is what you need to do. You need to start building so that if someone gets injured, you have not a straight swap, but someone just as good, or just a bit less as not. Do you know what I'm saying? On the level to come in straight away. If you're going from, you went from Tierney, which again. He was good, but you're not always consistent. To Tavares.
Oh my!
Tavares was a horrible drop off at left back.
Tavares.
And you can even argue Tomiyasu being in the form that he was, and you dropped off to Cedric.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're big drop offs from the quality of player that what they were performing at the time as well.
Do you know what though? Yeah. Comparing Cedric to Tavares, Cedric is a million times better.
He's better on the ball.
And on the ball. Tavares can't do anything. This is why.
This is the thing with Tavares though. He's got all the attributes.
No, he's got pace in it.
No, he's got all the physical attributes.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's got pace in it.
Yeah, he's got the physical attributes.
His quality is horrible.
Yeah,
touch on the ball.
Abilities.
That's why I think we've loaned him now.
Yeah.
Whatever we've done in it, I'm happy he's not there. That's all.
But then that's good because now you're saying probably Zinchenko is your first choice left back.
Way better. He's got way better.
Tierney has to fight his way back into. This is what you want. You need healthy competition. You can't just have a team of players that are comfortable, that know that they're going to start every single game.
Like who challenges Xhaka? He's on the team sheet
exactly.
every
That's my
week.
point. Someone that of Xhaka's quality is not being challenged by anyone.
He's got
no one's
quality.
coming to take his place. Look at City. Look at our team. Look at Chelsea when they won. People they need to take each other's space. They're fighting for each other's space. Like Marcus Alonso, Ben Chilwell, all of them players they have to keep rotating in and out. Lukaku, 97 million. He couldn't even get in the Chelsea team last year.
Yeah, true.
Partly because of what he was saying in the media and stuff.
But Timo's good.
But still, if he was banging goals, it wouldn't have mattered, didn't it? You see what I'm saying? So he only wasn't playing because he wasn't performing.
Yeah.
And Chelsea had players that were like, "You're not performing, I'm going to come and perform."
Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly. And the thing is, they've had the money to do that, innit? That's where we've fallen behind. And I don't even know how Liverpool have even kept up and been in that race is a miracle to me.
I'll be real. Selling Coutinho was the catalyst.
It was the best thing you could have done.
It was the catalyst for this. For everything else that has come since was because we sold Coutinho.
And you took a gamble as well.
Yes.
Because Virgil could have been rubbish.
Exactly.
Alisson could have been rubbish.
And we sold our best player.
He was in the form of his life. Long way as well.
He was in the form of his life.
Best player in the league.
You have to take these things and say, listen, well, this one player, okay, if he puts in a performance, he's a 10. He's not always a 10 though. He's probably like more on average like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, and you know the thing with Coutinho as well is when he played bad,
he was nowhere.
Bad.
Yeah,
missing.
He wouldn't. So it's like having 10 players.
Exactly.
So it's similar with kind of play with like Ozil type thing. Ozil's on flames.
Unbelievable.
You're winning the game. It's like, there's not even a question.
But if
he's not playing, you've got 10 players.
Yeah, he's not on the pitch.
Because they don't work back. They don't do the same job as everyone else. But because of what they do going forward, you kind of allow for it. But Klopp, I guess, realised that listen, instead of having this one luxury player, let's buy 2 excellent players that just improve the squad. And
in the spine.
Yes,
as well.
Exactly, in the spine. And we didn't try and sign. We didn't get 140 million for Coutinho and then go, who should we spend 80 million on someone else? Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't go and try 80 million for Sancho or.
Do you know what's funny about that? You say that though.
Whoever else was there at the time.
There's been many teams that have had that opportunity. There's not been many. There's been a few teams in the Premier League that have had that opportunity, and I think Liverpool have dealt with it the best, and the team that dealt with it the worst is Tottenham. Because they sold Gareth Bale and they bought Soldado, they bought these horrible players, you get it?
Yeah.
And you can get it wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why I respect Liverpool for getting it right, because
100%.
their scouting system and the way they think about players and how they look at what that player can do is, like, Liverpool have done it by. And do you know what the worst thing is? Tottenham, who were not to say Tottenham could not be with you lot if they did better signings then?
Well,
what about if they signed Alisson and do you get it?
So it swings around about. They probably did quite kind of improve the team. They were probably just a bit unlucky and
they were unlucky in defensive positions.
Exactly.
But they're lucky that they had a very, very good player in their academy, Harry Kane.
Yes.
Because if Harry Kane weren't scoring, they would be nowhere. So that's a bit of your academy doing you.
You signed Sonny as well. Son's one of the best players in the league.
Unbelievable. I would love to have Son.
I would love to have Son.
I'd love to have Son. Imagine Son and Saka.
If we could, I would sell Salah and get Son. I think he just would improve. It would make the team so much more rounded, rather than like
unbelievable.
That's what I'm looking for.
One-dimensional.
Yes, yeah, just rigid. Yeah, because Salah's play is rigid. I don't care. People can say what they want about my opinion. As a Liverpool fan, watching Salah for 90 minutes frustrates the life out of me.
Yeah, because he doesn't pass.
And not even that, because I know that he's gonna score. Ultimately, you know what I mean? So it's like
he's gonna win you the game.
This guy
and you're gonna have to love him.
Poor, so consistently. First touch terrible, passing to his teammates terrible. I don't know how he got the assists. He won the assist leader last year. I don't remember him getting many assists, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, he won the assist thing. So he must have been passing to Mane at some point.
He won the assist. Kevin De Bruyne didn't win that.
No.
Kevin De Bruyne passed to everyone. Salah.
I think he was injured for a bit.
He was injured.
But that's what I'm saying, and he'd never had that record before. Like, never done that well in terms of assists before.
That's probably because of the system that
exactly.
Is, isn't it?
And we've got better players. It's not just him thinking, oh, it's me. I'm the only man that can score goals. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Salah. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Salah. That's for sure. Because ultimately, he's brought a lot of success. He's brought a lot of happiness. To everyone, innit? I still watch him and I go, we could have a better player. We could have a more helpful player. Maybe he's not going to score as many goals, but I can assure you that the other player will make other people score more goals. Do You know what I'm saying? So Salah's 30 goals, 20 goals, whatever, will be spread amongst the squad, and you could probably match it.
Yeah.
Just by 3 or 4 other players getting goals.
That's what I'm saying. Whereby that's why I said the thing I said about Sterling. Why I think he's world class, because he's top class he's in a world class team.
No, that's
close,
world class.
Nah, I don't know if he is world class, but he's in a world class team. You're right to say it, and the system that he plays makes him look world class, because ultimately he's always at the end of the box. Yeah. He's always there scoring.
And ultimately, if we're being honest, I don't think Pep is selling a world class player to Chelsea. If we're just going to put it out there, think about it. You're right.
Or he just feels like the players coming up are better than him, or will be even more world class, like Phil Foden.
The thing is though, City have the money to be able to say to Sterling, listen, you're still getting your wage. Yeah, these other younger players are coming up, are going to get more opportunities. Your opportunities are going to start becoming lesser to play every week. Yeah, they could afford to just have him on the bench though. And just in case Foden gets injured, De Bruyne gets injured, this Mahrez gets injured, then he's there, innit? I don't know why they would sell him to Chelsea if they don't think we've kind of got our best years out of him, type thing.
I think that's again Pep's opinion. That's another geezer's opinion on the fact that Sterling's on his way out. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know, because Sterling, in my opinion, Sterling is a very, very good player, and I think it's just more of a case of letting the other players come through, and Pep probably doesn't want him to. In fact, not Pep, sorry, he doesn't want to sit on the bench.
No, yeah, exactly.
He didn't leave Liverpool to go to Man City to sit on the bench. He went there to win Premier Leagues, and he's done it. So he's not going to now go and sit on the bench for Man City. He's going to go to Chelsea.
No, that's another thing, innit? And really,
and you're right. Pep would have had that conversation with him, and he would have said, "Well, I want to go then, because I don't want to sit on the bench. Yeah. I'll be real with you, innit?"
And you got to see where your options are, and he'll say, "Listen, I'm a
London boy.
I'm English, innit? So."
It's not far from Wembley.
I've got family. My family are comfortable here. I've got kids.
Do you get it? And it's a very prestigious team. It's probably not the best time to sign for them, but they're a prestigious team.
No, it is now because they're in more of a cleaner image.
Well, they don't have
anyone that signed. Listen, look at anyone that signed for Chelsea, Abramovich era. You're a wrong'un. You are a wrong'un. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, innit? They took the money.
I don't care.
They took the money.
Okay, yes, Roman Abramovich. That whole era was a facade.
So you're saying that everyone signed for City wrong?
Yes.
Because that's all oil, isn't it?
Yes.
You're letting oil pay for you, innit, basically.
Bro, football and football fans like to care about certain things.
I don't care about
situations.
I do not care.
No.
No, but I'm saying my opinion on it.
No, yeah.
I don't care about football.
Yeah, no. But the football
they just have to
fans and football players love to have an opinion about certain things, about certain social issues or whatever else. But other issues,
for the other ones, isn't it? They're quiet. When your team is owned, when your team is owned by us.
Oh, I don't know. Come on, we're only footballers. What do you want me to do? I'm just a footballer.
Yeah, that's what they always. That's what they always say.
So yeah. I'm keeping that opinion. If you sign for City in the oil rig time, if you sign for Chelsea in the oil rig time, you're a wrong 'un. I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing from you, bro. You could get paid elsewhere. That's it.
You could get paid elsewhere, to be fair. But top 4 done. Thank you very much for listening. Let us know what you think is actually going to happen next season, whether it be the relegation battle or top 4. I would like to see where other teams or other fans think that they're going to finish. That would be quite fun. Yeah. Someone just comes out of the blue and says Leicester, even though they signed no one. It would be quite funny.
Sold a lot of players.
Exactly. So I would like to hear everyone's kind of opinion on that, because now you've heard ours. As we said, we might have to do an updated one, but we're here now. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time.
Take care.